Hey guys, it's Julian, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to make effects for Techno. Now, to go along with this video, I've just dropped a sample pack called Techno Effects Volume 1. What it is 30 awesome effects samples for Techno. Here's a few of them. So you can hear just a bunch of really cool stuff that you can work with in your tracks. You know, a lot of times, especially when I'm making my own techno tracks that have been released on labels and stuff, I am oftentimes finding like effects in sample packs just don't really cut it. Like they just don't really have the right atmosphere, the right feeling. So today I'm going to be talking to you about how you can make those. And also this pack has a ton of them. So if you want to get this pack, the link is in the description. Like I said, this is like the definitive collection. If you need effects to fill in your techno tracks, you know, you're making tracks and you realize like you don't want to just sit there and make little white noise risers every 5 seconds. This is great for you. It's got a bunch of really cool stuff and it works really well. And you will also be getting, when you get that, the project file from today's video as well. So yeah, definitely check that out. Link is in the description. Anyway, now to explaining how to make some effects. So the thing with making effects for techno is there's kind of a few different styles in them. I'm going to be talking about two in particular today. The main thing you want to think about is it is not EDM. You know, you don't want to make, or it's not even house music. You don't want to just have a bunch of and like everywhere. You have to be a little bit more strategic with it and a little bit more creative. So today I'm going to be talking to you about how to do that. So the first kind of effect we're going to be talking about is how to make like a little kind of sound, but make one that sounds cool and it's going to fit in techno tracks and be authentic and not just sound like you grab something from a house sample pack. So I've got operator pulled up here. I'm going to make just like one long note here. And we are going to switch this to white noise. And then I'm going to get a bandpass filter. And we're going to automate the frequency. So just like this. So this is a pretty standard sort of white noise sweep. As you probably heard, literally what I just described, we are not going to be doing a second ago. But yeah, this is really like the foundation. The way I think of it is kind of like you set this up and then you kind of get creative on top of this. So the next thing I would probably do here would be to cut out some low end with a high pass filter. And sometimes when it gets lower in the sweep, you can do that. And like we can add some reverb and stuff. And so from here, we can just get creative. One thing I like to do a lot of times is I'll put an LFO on the filter that's going down. This is something like, again, just like in a standard house track or something like that, this wouldn't work because it would be doing a whole bunch of stuff and it just would be kind of messy in one of those kind of mixes. But in a more minimal techno track, something like this can work. You know, and then when you hear that in a track, it's a lot more exciting and it gives it a lot more movement. And we can maybe change this to like one of these waveforms. That sounds cool. Like jumping around like that. That might sound cool in like a more industrial track or something like that. Another good one is like distortion. This may not seem like something you would want to do on a white noise sweep, but if we switch this to like the hard shaper, for example. You can hear it can make it a lot bigger, and already that, right off the bat, sounds a lot more like something you would hear in a techno track. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over here, and let's go to like 130 BPM. And so what I'll typically do is I'll have something like this, and then like a quarter note before it, like we'll get one of mine actually. We'll just get like the clap from here. I'll put a quarter note before it. So like, say this is a transition. We put the clap right here, and we can put a bunch of reverb on that, and we'll fatten it up with some drum bus as well. And then we do something kind of like this. Gotta turn that down. Like that. So then you put that clap in there. And it kind of sounds like, okay, the transition's about to happen. And then it makes this white noise sweep more hit harder. So, it's just kind of getting strategic with it like that. It's like, you definitely want to use sweeps like this. Like, if you listen to your favorite techno tracks, chances are they're using sweeps like this. It's just you have to get a little bit more creative with it. Another thing I like to do is maybe use like a bit of chorus. Like, if we turn the feedback up, you can get something interesting. And we could like automate the rate to go up while the filter sweep is going down. Probably cut out some lowering on that clap. And yeah, so you can hear, it's really not that complicated. It's just a matter of getting creative. Think of different things Like, for example, with this chorus here, I figured this trick out just because I have been using chorus as a way to kind of create a more resonant sound on, like, leads and plucks and stuff like that. And then you put it on this, you get something really creative. It's all about getting creative with it and just trying to do your own thing while still making something that isn't just, like, a standard, like, going down. You gotta get a little bit, you gotta do something a little bit more than that. And then also, like I said, like, adding in this clap and like little subtle things like that helps as well, Because again, like in house music or something like that, you wouldn't usually do this. You would just have like a kind of like building up and then dropping down. But when you do that, it's a much more subtle way of doing a build up into this. It's like it tells you everything you need to know without having to have the whole going into it. A lot of times I'll do this like right before the drop too. And then the other type of effect I want to talk about in here is atmosphere. So this one's a little bit more simple actually. But you can see over here I've got this vinyl noise sample. If you listen to this, it may sound familiar. I've got a few of these in the pack as well. Like around here. You can kind of get creative with your own, but these are really important in techno as well. The effects, when we talk about effects, it's not just sweeps and risers and things to kind of build tension. It's also things to add atmosphere, because techno is very much about atmosphere. It's very much about kind of like building a space that people can sort of fit into. Because it's so minimal and because it's so repetitive, it's like the atmosphere and the texture of everything plays a lot more into it than with other styles. So it's important to do stuff like this. And what you can do is you can get something like this and just put it in the background of your track. Like, say we have, like, this little 4-bar stretch and this little 4-bar stretch are part of the track. You would just have this playing in the background underneath all your instruments. And then, it's just kind of in there. Like, you may not hear it at every moment because it's kind of quiet and, like, you have something like this happening over top of it. But then you'll like every moment or every now and then you'll kind of notice it in the background, and it makes a big difference. It really puts the listener in a space. This is something I learned honestly from listening to like Burial's music. I'm sure a lot of people who make techno are fans of Burial, and yeah, like this is something he did. A lot of people around that time were doing that. A lot of people in like the past 10 and 20 years have started doing this. But like, yeah, it just really like that's where I picked it up. It's like his music is so much about atmosphere and so much about the space that it puts you into. And I feel like when you do that in techno, even though it's more like dance floor oriented and it's much more of like hard hitting kind of stuff, you can really bring a lot more feeling to that. And that's what it's really all about, because anybody can make doom, 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 doom. But to really give it like a feeling and to really make it have like that atmosphere that you can resonate with is hard. And having little subtle sounds like this, like maybe we can even layer another one like this one. Having that in the background of your track just adds so much to it and is really going to make the overall track that much more interesting to listen to. So, that is going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe, and let me know what you think of this video in the comments. I'm trying to do more stuff that isn't just like how to make music like blank, but more so just like overall techniques that I've learned from producing my own music. Like I said in the beginning, you can get the pack in the description if you're looking for a really great collection of effects for your techno tracks. You're looking for that one pack that you can just always go to be able to have some nice effects in your tracks. this is the one. It's available in the description. It's super cheap. You can get it. It's got a bunch of awesome stuff. And you also get this project file from today's video. So you can just play with this stuff and build a whole track just off of these effects right here. So definitely pretty useful. Like I said, link is in the description. It's not very expensive. And if you want to support your boy, this is a great way to do it. Thank you so much, everyone. And I will see you tomorrow with another video.